At one point, when I was studying with my teacher, I'd been studying with him for quite a while, and one day he presented me a hawk feather, and it was beautiful. He had like wrapped the shaft in these different colored threads, and I was like kind of blown away. It was a big deal because he was a strict teacher. Like he didn't just give out stuff like this very often. In a sense, you kind of had to, I wouldn't say earn it, but you had to show some devotion for sure, And so I was really touched. And he sat down and just looked at me in the eye and he said, "Now go become it," you know. And it was probably years later till I really understood what that meant. But my sense is what he is saying to me is that like and he's the represent as the shaman, right? He's the representation of the representative of spirit. So he's like and spirit sees this potential in you. Now go and become it. I was viewing it like, oh, I earned the feather, right? Like, oh, I'm so spiritual that I like earned the feather. And he was like, no, 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 no. It's like now you're in the ballpark so you can even understand what a feather is. Now here's the feather. Spirit sees this potential in you, Now you've almost awakened the potential. Now go become it. Like go walk with it in your everyday life. And it was a big difference, maybe subtle, but difference between like you've attained the feather and the feather is a representation where spirit sees your potential, And so another example, similar from a totally different tradition, Zen Buddhism, Adyashanti, which is maybe kind of a contemporary Zen teacher, I would say. He said a kind of a similar thing. Adyashanti works a lot to help people kind of awaken to their true nature, And so he was talking about spiritual awakening, as he often does. And he said, often your first spiritual awakening is almost a gift from spirit. He goes, you may almost like stumble upon it. You may even not really know what you're doing. And so spirit's showing you that like, here is your true nature. Here's what your true nature is like, Now go and figure out how to walk with that and how to be in that state. And as he would say, how to embody that state, And so I just thought that was a really interesting perspective. And I think we can learn a lot, like that, like spirit is kind of expecting something from us. I think we're often like, oh yeah, spirit, give me this, give me. But it's like, maybe, it's like, what does spirit want from us? Is kind of an interesting question. It's counting on us to, walk in our true nature, to be our awakened self in our everyday life, to be to be the shaman, or to have the feather, which is like the connection, between this world. The hawk is this messenger between this world and the next, to carry that connection with all of life, like in your everyday life, like to become that, And so it's really a challenge. It's like, and it's pretty, it's a pretty serious challenge. Like, it's like spirit, or like God, if you will, creator, is like saying, here, I see this potential, now go become it, And I just think it's really cool. It is challenging. There's a lot of responsibility that goes with it, but just another perspective that I thought I would share with you. And so that is my video for this week. Thank you for watching. And I hope you have an awesome week, and that you find a way to kind of actualize, what spirit sees in you. Or maybe even ask yourself, what does spirit see in you? Maybe you would ask spirit, what do you see in me? But anyway, enjoy your week, and I will see you next week.